to my computer. So here we are with Mary and Lynn for Mary's first hand reading. And we are looking at her prints right now, but I'm diagnosing right now. I'm writing things down, and then we're gonna have a full conversation. But I'm now just pointed out to Mary that as though I'm talking to a third person. As a reminder to you, Mary, we just looked at your fingerprints, and we noticed that almost all of them are identical, and they're all called whorls. But if you look at your thumbs, your two thumbs, they're a little bit different. So a whorl is like full concentric circle, 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 circle. But your thumbs look a little bit more like S's.
I see that.
Yeah. And that means something a little bit different, but this is okay. Perfect. I am now. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about your beloved pinky, your right pinky finger, because I want to know the story behind that. And I'll tell you in my world what the significance might mean, and we'll see if it resonates with you or not. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm looking at your right hand. It's upside down, so it's taking me a second because it's like this. So oh no, except it's your left hand. It's you because you went like this. Yeah. Okay, this is your left hand. Okay. All right, I'm gonna just share my screen so you can see like what I'm looking at.
Okay.
Here we go. Okay, so do you see my cursor on your hand?
Yep, I do.
Okay, cool. So what I'm doing now is, oops, I'm not doing that. I am scrolling. So I look at these. When you're born with three major lines in your hand. This one that curves around your thumb joint. This one that tends to be connected to that one. It crosses across your palm in the center. And then this one that starts underneath your pinky and goes towards your pointer finger.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about those, but I'm just going to notate what I see. So do you see how long and strong and straight this top line is that goes across the top of your palm?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I look at in terms of how you receive emotional gratification from someone else. It's called your heart line or your relationship line. And what it says to me, and in my world, your left hand is who your close people get to see, and your right hand is who people meet out in the world. Hi, nice to meet you. And you shake with your right hand, but your left hand represents your inner world. So your close people get the version of Mary who is super considerate, super loves, is romantic, is detailed oriented, is like considers things before taking action, and is also has like an intellectual component to relationship. And the non-negotiable need is like, I need to know what's happening with you before I could tell you what's going on with me. I just need to know what's happening. Does that resonate with you? Yeah. Okay, cool. So then organically, the match, quote unquote, match for this is the opposite. And the opposite would be someone with an a fire heart line, and it starts in the same place and it curves and it's super see how yours is straight. Yeah. This yours is the opposite would be curvy and ends right here, like underneath the middle finger.
Interesting.
So that is someone who is spontaneous and fun and it's like, come on, let's go, let's get in the car. And you're like, hold up, let's consider what's happening. And they're like, come on, let's go. And that is the balance in the relationship, which and the gifts that you have to offer each other. So that person's non-negotiable need is fun and passion, and your non-negotiable need is I need to know. is long talks and like that. And does that resonate with you? But the thing is that you as a person have a lot of fire in you, right? So like you bounce around, you take up your space. You're like, look at what I can do when I'm 67. Look at my body does. That's right. So that's very fiery also. So that actually I imagine would actually engage that part of you. How is your partnership world?
Oh, I'm not interested at all.
Not interested. Okay.
Not
Not
even, not even a bit.
not even. Okay, there you go. Moving on.
I love being single. I love
Mm,
coming and going. I love not having to ask for permission. I like things the way I like. I buy what I want to buy. I
yeah,
don't, so yes, I love being single. I was married once.
you were.
Yep, when I was a young woman. And it was a marriage that only young people can do without thought, without, and it was to escape my traumatic, um, dysfunctional, abusive family.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
we were married for 2 years, and we were heading south quickly, and I loved him but wasn't in love with him. Lots
Yeah.
of lots of intimacy issues. Oh my goodness. So
Mm.
sex and number of times we had sex and all that stuff. Ooh. And then we were in a
Mm.
boating accident 2 years later, after my second wedding anniversary in September of 1983, and that was it. He drowned and I did not.
Oh my God, Mary.
So at 25, I was a widow. So that was my 20s, and um, 5 years later, I moved to New York City, and I've never looked back. And that was, you know, and I didn't, I had no idea what it meant to be a wife. And he started talking about kids, and I was like, you know, I never wanted kids. I was 15, don't want kids. Maybe it was growing up and seeing how abusive a family can be. Um, and I can never tell his family this, Lynn, but I would not be the woman I am today without that death. And
Incredible.
so there is a significant part of me that feels like the universe, if you believe in the universe or God, was like,
Mhm.
"Hmm, you know what? This is You are meant for much more, Mary Christine Andrews, and this is way too small for you, and we are going to do something really dramatic that is going to crush you, but you will rise." And and I have been knocked down so many times.
Yeah.
Some of it my own stuff to work out, and others because the world doesn't appreciate women, big women, women that take up space. And what you saw at our acting class um, is never been respected or appreciated in the world of education. I have never fit. I do not blend. No, I have very few that get me. The kids get me. The kids get me right away, but my colleagues, you know, uh, nobody gets me. And it has been a tough place to be as talented as I am, and to and just it's like I got to be a little bit small. But of late, that's a little bit more difficult. So
Good.
I found ways to be big, but not in a way that attracts you know pettiness and gossip and um, you know, um, uh, there's a lot of, what's the word? Jealousy. So it's been a tough career in that respect. Um, so there you go.
Wow.
So
That makes,
relationship was like, you know what, been there, done that.
yeah.
And I married him to escape my abusive family. Was I in love with him? No. Did I love his family? Yes.
Mm.
Do I see his sister-in-law tonight? Yes. I am still in contact with his sisters and his cousins, and his parents died recently, but yeah, they've never left my life, and that is a blessing. And they adore me, and I adore them. I know, isn't that amazing?
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. And tell me, when you said you were teaching, tell me about where you're teaching.
So I was fired from one job. I was not offered a contract at another job. And I definitely have anger management issues, significant anger management issues. Um, Finally realized I have a lot of anger and rage over how I was treated, and I am attending to that. And it has really opened my world to, um, you know, an angry man is bad, but an angry woman is just not acceptable. So I really had to, and nobody ever talked to me like my previous principal talked to me. And I'm in an anger management group, lovely people from all walks of life who are struggling. Most of us come from abuse and trauma, just trying to get it right with our loved ones and our partners. And it's really and I said, I have anger. I said to Elizabeth, I really learned that I have anger. She started to laugh.
Oh,
she,
really?
she said, yeah, kind of, honey. And I said, and I'm working on it. And it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. And I
I'm
see it.
glad.
I see it in my brothers. I see it in my brothers. And that is how life was. You screamed and yelled and you got drunk and yeah. So it's
Wow.
kind of amazing I'm as normal and as functioning as I am.
Really?
Really.
Congratulations. It sounds like
So
you're doing a lot of work, like
I
a
am I
lot
have
of,
I've done an enormous amount of work,
yeah.
and I
Yeah.
put myself in a really positive position. I was on a trajectory that had been a different school. It's a Catholic Jesuit school. If I'd been at a Jesuit, if I'd been at another school, I might have already not had a renewed contract.
Yeah. Okay.
So this was like the universe again interceding, and
What are
so
you teaching?
so I teach chemistry.
Chemistry. Okay.
Yeah. And I've taught math and I've taught biology.
That explains that.
So
Okay.
I didn't mean to derail us.
You did not derail us
Okay. Okay.
at all. All right. I'm pulling up. I'm going to share again. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm pulling up your right hand. Where are you? Share. There you go. Share. Okay. Do you see your hand here and my
I
cursor?
do. I
Okay.
do.
Okay, good. All right. All right. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm looking at this. Interesting, Mary. Hold on. So in your right hand, your top line seems a little, it's still air. We'll call it air. Okay. It almost something else. Okay. And then, oh yeah. So this middle line here, super straight, super carved. This is how your brain processes information. And it says you have massive brain there to solve interesting, complex problems. So chemistry teacher, biology teacher, math teacher, it's all perfect, perfect, perfect for how you're wired from my perspective.
Okay.
Um, oh, look at this scar.
That's a scar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Venus mound. Also blue Venus. Okay,
Some
baby.
kids trapped me in a glass when I was little. Some kids trapped me in a glass breezeway and they wouldn't let me out.
What?
And I was so scared that I actually crashed through the glass.
Oh, Mary.
Yeah. And I got this and I had got this scar.
Wow.
I think I was 4 or 5.
4 or 5? Oh, Mary.
We lived in a pretty dicey neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Duluth, Minnesota.
Duluth, Minnesota. You're such a hardy, you are of hardy stock.
I am.
All
I
right, we
am.
have a lot to talk about here. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing.
Okay.
All right, my feisty love. Um, here's okay. We're gonna start with the fingerprint. So in my world, so I'm gonna give you information. Take with you what works, leave behind what doesn't. Some
Okay.
things will be like, yes, that's just totally me, and some things will be like, no, you're talking about someone else. I don't know who you're talking about. So we'll just have the conversation. I just want my intention is that you have an experience where it's just a new perspective that might feel validating and for you to feel seen
Mhm.
and maybe walk away with some tools that you didn't have before that might help you feel more in alignment with who you are. That's my intention.
Okay.
Um, so in my world, well, first of all, the cells that create the heart are the same cells embryologically that create your hands.
Interesting.
So there is a correlation between your hands as an external, most external representation of your heart cells and your heart, which is then connected to your soul and your purpose there. So the fingerprints form at 14 to 16 weeks in the womb. It's the only thing in your hands that do not change throughout your life. Everything else shifts and changes. Everything that I look at is a this represents a version of who you are. This represents like that. So when you came into the world, we look at these as skill sets. What skill sets did you come in with that are just so easy to do? What skill sets do you have your whole life to learn? Is just the hardest shit that comes up over and over and over again. And that's what we look at your fingerprints for. So because you have, so there are four major types of fingerprints, and it's very rare for someone to come in with so many whorls, so many whorls. And what that means is that the life trajectory. Now, in my world, there are not many things that have timelines, but this is one of the things that has a timeline, meaning that as you mature, these skill sets come into place later in life. You have the hands of someone who's like later in life, it is your time. So you are right now in your time. Like it's when late 50s, early 60s is when this starts to come into place, falls into place. And what I mean is someone these with these fingerprints has the life trajectory of going from learning the difference between sacrificing yourself, being able, probably super competent, able to show up for people around you, but understanding like what that meant for you was it's a different skill set. So you learn to go from sacrifice, which was the default, into service. You're really here for service. That whatever it is that you offer truly is an extension of who you are. And that's the trajectory. And now, like even when I hear you talk about like you get to do what's right for you, you're feeding yourself so beautifully with this freedom, taking advantage of the freedom that you have. And by doing that, that allows you to show up for others from a place of service to the degree that you do nourish your own self. And it sounds like you have such a strong handle about what does work for you, what you do buy, what you do eat, the people that you are around, like really nourishes you. And because of that, you are able to show up from a place of service. Does that resonate with you at all?
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk and get a scarf.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, and it's interesting. The more I take care of Mary, the more I can be of service and well, it's sort of like I feel very differently about my teaching. You know, I'm working on a one-woman show with Elizabeth.
Oh, you
Um,
are.
just we haven't given it a title, but it's about my life as a teacher. You know, little vignettes, and I I've been working on this for years, and just recently, it's like I want to I want to, I want people, the idea is what do you want people to walk out of the theater with?
Yep.
And I want them to walk out with hope
Okay.
that whatever their challenges, whatever their difficulty is, um, and I bring my anger full, um, right up, right there, and they get to see how it has sort of derailed my life, and then how I have arrived sort of on the other side with different stories. You know, it's like, why is she so angry? And there's a scene about my mom, which is really, um, and and I have never felt good about my singing ever, and um, and I have a wonderful voice teacher who is doesn't suffer fools, and it's like, you weren't born. It's too bad you weren't born with better chops because you understand so well. But let's make you the best singer you can be, and because I want to sing in the show, and so that has been a really big, acting. The acting will require work, but the acting has always come easier for me. And the singing has been an enormous challenge. And I don't know why I haven't given up, but I'm discovering things all the time, which is the healthier I get, the more healthy I get mentally and emotionally, the more my voice opens up. It's like really my vocal training has been a metaphor for my life. And so maybe that's the real gift, you know. I will probably go to my grave wishing I had, a better instrument, but I'm doing the best I can with what I have. And there are a lot of people who have had fabulous careers who have never sung a note. so, so anyway,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This is exciting to me, Mary. So much of what you just shared is exciting to me. I love that you're doing a show. I love that it's about your teaching. I love that you want to leave people with a sense of hope. And I love that you are building this skill set, these chops about your voice. And well, I was a voice major in college, so everything you're saying really
oh,
resonates with me. And I went through a lot of trials and tribulations with teachers and singing and my voice closing down. Anyway, but in the world of hand analysis, that group that I put you in the
by the way, Sarah has a fabulous voice.
she does, huh?
Yeah, she does. I mean, she didn't really sing the way she can sing, but she's a really wonderful singer. Like she's really good.
That's
Um,
cool.
so I mean, I've heard Sarah sing. She's quite talented.
That's cool. She seems very talented to me, for
Yeah.
sure. So, but that group that I put you in the
Ah,
workshop with Karen and the three of you had the gift of vision and foresight. It's also connected to your throat chakra.
interesting.
So you actually are wired for this voice. You have a voice and a vision of clarity. And what the three of you came up with was just so perfect. It
Mm,
was so perfect. How can we move forward? We can move forward from a place of you don't have to be perfect. The crack is where the sun gets in, and united, we can come together and move
yeah.
forward together. Perfect. It was very powerful, really beautiful. So it's one of the gifts that you have, actually. So I
You know,
love that you're pursuing.
Elizabeth says, "Oh, you have a beautiful voice. It's just it hasn't had the pathway to get out yet. So just stop." She'll go. Yeah, she'll chastise me. It's like, I'll do the, and she'll go. "Ugh." It just hasn't been able to get out because there's been so much gunk in the way,
Yeah,
um, and
yeah,
so as the
yeah.
gunk gets removed and a healing occurs.
Yes.
healing occurs, a lot of healing to occur.
Yes. This is beautiful because this is the next thing that I wanted to talk to you about is this other gift that you have is this gift of courage. So
Mm.
you have the courage to fight the right fight, your right fight, which is about feeding yourself, nurturing yourself so that you can go out and offer more from a place of service. This is this is what you have the gift for. Like you have the propensity, you have the cojones, you can do this. Now, when this gift isn't being used, it will feel like your life is one battle after another. So it might feel that you now have to like, and I'm just picking up on what you offered thus far. You could be in a work situation where people aren't getting you and you have to battle like to like get yourself seen. And I I wonder if there is a correlation between that external world and the internal feeding of yourself. In other words, to the degree that you actually feed yourself and actually nourish yourself, I wonder if there is a correlation between self-care, self-love, and external world reflection. So that when you're off and I don't know, I'm making this up, so you tell me. So that when it's not so easy for you to take care of and you're like, oh, I'm not gonna eat that, I'm like when you start to fall off the
Mhm.
self-care wagon, I'll call it, then the battles might be more. I don't know. You tell me, I'm asking.
Um, I so I'm pretty good about, eating, sleeping, exercising, but I want to go and fix everything. And so one of my mantras has kind of been, you do what you do best. You can, basically stay in your lane. And
Yeah.
this does not concern you. It's somebody else's. If they were interested in your opinion, they would ask you, they being the school, admin, et cetera, et cetera. So, unless it directly involves you, Mary, then be careful of expending your precious energy on things for which you may be reprimanded, or why did you go say X, why did you, that really wasn't your purview. And so, but that need to feel like, I can see how something can be better. It's like, what, I can give you 10 different things that I think would help our sagging enrollment. Okay, but I'm not the admissions director. I gave some feedback, and I was smacked down, even though that feedback had been said, oh, we love feedback, but that wasn't the case. So be careful, be more mindful. So this is my growing edge. Be more mindful about what people say and what people actually want.
Right.
And that has been sort of like what you said. Oh, but between the lines is, Mary, people say things they don't mean. And
Yeah.
very rarely do I say something that I don't mean.
Mm.
So the game of politics, where you never say what you mean, I have been miserable at, absolutely miserable at, because I think people want to hear, and they don't. So when this admissions director, who was clueless, um, and was very snippy, and maybe I caught her a bad time, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt, but what it was is they really don't want feedback. When I see the students going around and giving the tours, and horrible. Um, but I'm not the admissions director, and nobody wants my feedback, and it's not my school. And if we close because, admission is so low and we have no operating budget, listen, I can leave anytime. I love the school, I want to help the school, but stay in your lane, Mary.
Right.
Stay in your lane. And so that has been a really, that has gotten me in a lot of trouble.
Mhm.
Stepping in because I want to help and fix,
Yeah.
but where it's sort of, did we ask you? We didn't ask you. So, you're go teach science. That's what we paid you for.
Okay.
So, and so then when you solicit me to do something, I don't feel like it, then I say, you know what, you hired me to do science. You didn't hire me to do service trips to Puerto Rico. So if I don't want to take a service trip to, Puerto Rico or New Jersey or whatever, I'm not going to do it. So it also cuts both ways.
Mm.
So not to be small, Lynn, but big, to be big in my quietness.
Mm.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
This is sort of the battles, courage to fight the battles, or courage to be involved in the battles of import that help the kids. So unlike a lot of lip service, I'm really there for the children.
Yeah.
I'm not here for that. I do everything I can because I remember what it was like to be a teenager in an abusive family.
Yeah.
So I put my money where my mouth is there. And so my goal is to oh well, oh well, like, the people united will never be defeated kind of thing. I wanted to say to Sarah, I'm not there anymore. You might be there, you're in your 40s. I'm not there anymore. I'm a little bit sort of like, you know, if this is what people wanted, hope you're going to be happy with what you get kind of thing. But the energy to those kinds of things, it's like, you know, self, self.
Yeah. I like that. I like that you're recognizing this. Like, what is your lane? What isn't your lane? The thing is that, Mary, you have the hands of someone who's big. Like you have the hands of someone who playing small really does mean playing small because you're not small. You're not meant for small. You're
And
just
it
not.
it's I'm not small in the classroom, and the
Okay.
principal came in
Okay.
and gave me a formal class observation, and he's brand new this year, and I'm not sure how I feel about him, but that man sitting in that room saw what an amazing educator I am, and he wrote it down. And so for everything that I'm like, he saw me, and I was thought, you know what? I'm not playing small. This is my room,
Right.
and these are my students, and we have a great relationship, and you're going to see. And so he was like, well, how did you do that? How did you do that? How long did it take you to prepare? The kids were so responsive. How long did it take you to get them up to speed? And I'm like, 5 minutes. So I blew him away. And that really was like really, really empowering because I don't think I've had somebody see me in my classroom in quite that way, or I haven't showed up in that way because I've been afraid
Okay.
to sort of be big. And I thought, you know what? I'm not hiding. You
Yeah.
want to fire? If you don't want to renew my contract, that's fine. I'm 67. I can say bye bye. I got enough money in the bank. I'll be fine.
You're okay.
I'm a gift to the school, and
Yes.
they know
Yes.
it. So.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay.
So yes, you're right. Playing small is very difficult for me.
No, it's not yet.
It
Yeah.
takes a lot
Yeah.
of energy to play small and very little to be big.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I share with you some more gifts that I
Yes,
see?
yes. Oh, this is just making my day. Yes, what a wonderful New Year's present to myself. I knew
Wonderful.
it would be great.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So, so in my world, we're going to talk about the healer.
Okay, yes. You mentioned that at the
Yep.
workshop.
So like you could have been in every one of those groups that we were in that I put you in.
Okay.
So I'm imagining that they would have resonated with each one of those groups would have resonated with you. So all right, so we're going to talk about the healer gift marking. So the healer gift marking um which um in my world, and I mentioned this in the group, uh every being human, there are things that people need to heal. It's just like your experience. You come into the planet, you're here, you have your life experience. There are things that you need to heal. Most people, I'd say 90%, don't need to heal their things. They can get jobs and have families and go on, and they're okay. And then there's the rest of us who can't ignore the things that need to be taken care of and healed. Like, we are introspective, we do the work, which means that we are the people who have more to heal than the average bear. So we're carrying more than the average bear, and we need to heal more than the average bear. To the degree that we heal our things is the degree that people around them can heal theirs. It is through example. It's a living by example healer. Like, I wouldn't say, Mary, you're a healer. I would say, Mary, you have the ability to heal your stuff. And to the degree that you heal what needs to be healed in your world, means that the people around you will be able to heal their things as well. And I love that this combination of the healer and the world, the service purpose, because it's your purpose, it makes you like a healer. You're here for service, and it's about healing. Like, what you bring to the world is your healing process. And that's what I'm hearing you do. That's what I'm hearing you devote your life to right now, devote your energy to right now. And people around you, anybody who's going to see this one person show is going to benefit from the work that you are doing on yourself. How does this resonate with you?
It does.
Okay.
It does.
I'm going to throw another layer on there for you, and you can take it or leave it. The fastest way to heal your stuff is in an intimate sexual relationship. And here is why. Whatever it is that needs to be healed comes up in a committed, intimate sexual relationship. This is what my fears are. And your partner is there to say, yeah, but I'm not your weird milkman when you were 8. I'm not that. I'm not that. I'm your partner now. And then you and your partner, then you realize, okay, that's not the story that's happening now. You feel seen, you and your partner drop into a deeper level of intimacy. So healers have the capability of having truly deep, intimate relationships and connections with people. People who are not healers have a more superficial experience in the world. Like that. So I throw that at you. I heard you say, not interested. I don't do relationships, not interested. I hear that. But I wanted you to know that in my world, the fastest way to like bring that stuff up to the surface so it can be cleared out is when someone's going to trigger it for you. So I'm just letting you know. You do with that what you will, put it to the side, but there's that component. But you're doing what I'm hearing you say is that you are in the trenches. You're doing the deep, hard work. You're looking at it right now. So you're doing what you're doing. It's great. How does this resonate?
Yeah, the thought of having sex is so I can't even I no I it is just so I can't imagine it because it is just so um I I that it's not fear. Maybe it's fear, but it is it it's just I would I feel frozen when you started talking about that. It was like
Okay.
Elizabeth's like, okay, what did I just say? You just stopped breathing.
Um,
Let me breathe. Okay, yeah. So a
okay.
lot of trauma there. So it may be the fastest way for me to heal, and thank you for that. But If I'm going to give you the visual in, there it is.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you for
Gotta
sharing.
be another path.
Fair enough. Well, you're doing it. So let's put that to the side. How does the other part of it resonate with you? To the degree that you're healing your things, or the things that people around you can
Yeah,
heal?
because a colleague of mine just recently said to me, you know what, Mary, what I really admire about you. And I'm like, oh, and this is a man, I really like Ted. I think he just turned 60. Um, and he's a really good guy. He said, you know, sometimes you'll come in and you'll be fine. They should look. And he said, but then I watch you evolve and you start going, you know, maybe maybe I could do X. Maybe there's a better approach so that I'll gnash my teeth and, take the moral high ground and there, blah, 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 blah. But he said, I watch you just little by little. You go, well, maybe I overreacted. Maybe I did this. Maybe I did. Here might be a way around that. And he said, I really admired how you kind of evolve into finding a really good, solution, or how you manage, that point of rah, 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 to that point of, okay, well, maybe there's some openings here. And he said that right before Christmas break. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you. So what you're saying is, I mean, Ted, he didn't have to say anything, but he said, that's really admirable. That's really, so maybe he thinks about doing that in his life, and he's right. Sometimes it's like, well, you know, maybe the other person has a point of view. So arrive at sort of and I'm a Libra, the scales and balance and all that kind of stuff. And I arrive at, well, maybe I'm overreacting. So,
Um, that's a beautiful example. A beautiful example of you taking, I'm like, oh, elevating where you're at and then having it affect the people around you. It's perfect.
I never, I, I never would have imagined that. So,
Yeah. Well, where's our hell? Okay. You have another gift. And it's one I don't see very frequently, but it's called the Midas touch.
okay.
And what that means is when it comes to finances and riches and money, you have this ability to generate it, to manage it. And it is a gift that you have. It's a business gift.
So that has historically not been me. I have been a spender, much to my father's chagrin, for years and years and years. Um, and it was only after when my dad died and we each got an inheritance about 300,000. Not a lot of money. Um, and I had gotten a wrongful death suit some after John died. And I spent all that. I mean, I just poof. And I think of that $225,000 in the '80s now, but I was, I was a wreck. But I thought, you know what, this is the last gift I'm getting, and I better manage it well, and I have. So, um, my brother is really the financial wizard of the family, and he shares a lot with me. I don't feel like a finance person at all. I'm just
Right.
like,
Yeah.
so it hasn't been my historical, it hasn't been my history, you know.
That makes sense to me
Oh,
because it's connected to your sense of value and self-worth. So, to the degree that this gift is going to come alive, is connected to what you feel you deserve.
that's interesting. Okay. Okay.
And what I'm hearing you say, Mary, is that more and more you feel like you deserve like full
Yeah.
health. You deserve calm. You deserve not to fight everything. You deserve like your place.
And this has been very slow coming, and it is really quite recently. I would say in my early 60s, I
Yeah.
did not feel this way. It really has been within the last couple of years. So very, very recent, the idea of self-worth and deserving of, and that you know, everybody, I don't have to be perfect to be loved. I do not have to be perfect to be loved. In fact, you know, and that's what I tell the kids, you know, failure is just unfinished learning.
That's beautiful.
And that was my colleague Ted. Failure is just oh my God. Failure is just unfinished learning. You got something more to learn. We always have something more to learn and look
Beautiful.
at it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So wow, I'm blown away by that Midas touch that you just shared. Okay.
And in my world, the timing's perfect. That's exactly when your self-value, self-worth would be dropping in early 60s because it's connected to your service.
Yeah. Yeah.
The more you value yourself, the more you can offer.
Hmm. Hmm.
So then here's something I'm going to throw in front of you. You tell me how this resonates with you because if it does resonate with you, it could be a really good tool.
Okay.
So I'm looking at that scar in your hand, in your right hand on this mound, that scar that you have from like when you were young, itty bitty. So if you look at that part of it's actually on both of your hands, you see how that mound is called the Venus mound. The mound on both of your hands is bluish.
Hmm. Yeah.
So in my world, blue means uncried tears.
Oh, okay.
And this part of your hand correlates to it's a self-mothering, self-nurturing skill set. And I know you're taking impeccable care of yourself, but
Yeah.
I'm looking at is particularly through the five senses. So luxuriating through the five senses. If what you eat, we know it's healthy, but how does it feel in your mouth? What are the textures? What are the smells? Like how the five senses. What smells? Like if you were to open up the door to your home, like what are the smells you would like to have greet you? And what are the sounds? Is it music or is it a crackling fire or is it a fountain? Or what sounds are the most loving? And we're talking about loving and nurturing.
Okay.
Your sheets on your bed, how do they feel? The robe that you put on after the shower, how is your lotions and your soaps, how do they feel on your skin? So living through the five senses from us, not necessarily from us, this is not a sexual, sensual thing. This is literally five senses, literal, like that. Um, and your hands would tell me that you would soak that up so much. Like there's a part of your soul that would want to soak that up so much. Tell me how that resonates with you. And I'm wondering why this is interesting. We're talking about this and you're kind of disappearing a little bit behind your scarf, I'm noticing. Tell
So
me.
it's that's really interesting. Um, so I love nice things. One of
Yeah.
the reasons I haven't been able to save a lot of money. Um, and this is a rental apartment for which I pay $1,600 a month. So thank you, Housing Goddesses on the Upper West Side. It's a corner apartment, it's windows all around. So it's absolutely spectacular. Um, and I renovated my kitchen. So I have there's the cabinets, and I have a red countertops,
Gorgeous.
and that's tile from Mexico.
Perfect.
And I have these amazing lights up here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And there's the sink, and I have a bamboo floor.
Oh, wow.
And the living room I need to fix up. Yeah, but this is the way it looks right now. It's very, it's very whimsical, and we love whimsical and fantasy.
Yes, yes, yes.
We have our fairy lights.
Oh, lovely. Mm. Oh, that's so nice. Beautiful. Oh, love it.
Um, and I love crisp, expensive sheets.
Great. Great.
And I was thinking, oh, I really needed, cheap sheets. No, so I go on eBay and get like Ralph Lauren cotton sheets, and really um, flowers. I love flower patterns. And I was just talking to my brother. I said, I think my next renovation will be kind of the living room. I need a new sofa. I think I want to do a different color, different rug. I'm actually going to paint, have really nice window treatments and um, all that stuff. Yes, 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 yes. Food with my digestive issues. I think my medical stigmata is probably my stomach and my digestive issues, because that's what you said. You said third eye star. Is that what you said? Third eye star, and you said medical stigmata. Um, and I've had really significant digestive issues since I was a child. And I'm working with, and nobody knows what's wrong with me. And so it's chronic, and I think it's related to trauma. And I've got a wonderful doctor who's helping me. So when you said food is not that big a deal. I'm not a food person, but the other stuff you said, yeah, beauty in my home and smells really important,
Great.
you know, but very specific. I'm very sensitive to fragrance, so it has to just be specifically particular fragrance, not too strong. I can't listen to harsh music. If I had to be on a desert island, I would take Mozart with me.
Nice.
So yeah, all of that is really true.
I love it. I love it.
And I'm
Perfect.
thinking that my towels, I need new fluffy towels. These are old. So it's like,
Mm,
I think I'm ready to buy new towels. So isn't that interesting that you noticed that? You said that, and that's all really like, yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I love that. I love that that's already in place. But and and I don't know what it is yet, but I'm wondering if there is some correlation to the five senses, that nurturing part of yourself. And
Oh, massages. I'm also a really, really big massage person. I
great,
mean, I think I love massage more than any other person on the planet.
great, great.
Yeah.
I love this. So I'm gonna throw this in front of you. You tell me if I'm overstepping or not, but this is what just came to me. If we were to think of that, of all of the things that you're doing as a self-mothering, like accessing the internal self-mothering to that you get to do now, right? That like you get to mother yourself now and look at how beautifully you're doing it. Something that has helped me in terms of overcoming like some massive trauma that I've had to overcome. It's a similar voice. I'm the parent now. So what happened? That happened. And I'm so sorry. And I'm doing everything I can to make it up to you because I want to tell you, Lynn, that will never happen to you again because I'm on watch. It's up to me. And I've got you. I've got you ferociously.
Yeah.
And I start a dialogue with my inner self and I go, so what do you need right now? Tell me. I want you to know that I've got you. What is it you need from me to let me know that I've got you? I was driving once when I said that to myself, and it just came up like, I need to go to Idlewild, which is a town like a 3 hour drive from here. It's a mountain town. I'm like, all right, I'll take you to Idlewild. Let's go. We'll do that. And I went and I had this like crazy 24 hours of like gifts coming to me. Like it was because I really honored what I heard myself say.
Mhm.
It was it was this magical moment, 2 days, whatever. So that for me is a tool that I have been using and utilizing more and more, which is if I find that something outside of me is coming up or old stories are coming up, I say, hold on, I'm the parent now.
Yeah. I've never said it quite that way, you know, and I don't think that, and by the way, that sounds amazing. And you know, there's an intellectually, yes.
Yeah.
But, you know, and asking really, what do you need? What do you need right now from me?
Yeah.
Because I'm the parent, you know,
Yeah.
I'm the mom, I'm the dad, and, and, and and then waiting for an answer, which I would imagine I would get.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just want to recognize the tone of voice you're using now.
Yeah.
It's so nurturing. It's so parental and it's so loving.
Hmm.
It's a really beautiful place to be. It's also a very empowering place to be. It's also very, gentle and vulnerable place to be too. But this could be your a place of growth. Of
It's easy to be harsh on oneself when that is your life experience, right? And
course.
so you are harsh because that's what you know,
Yeah.
but it's not what any of us who come from that, you know, trauma and sad, it's not what any of us need. And so I am learning a new way to deal with self, and I'm really a work in progress.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
I'm getting chills as you're talking. It's really powerful. It's really beautiful. And look at you.
And
It's
sometimes
great.
I'll say, what do you want to do? I just want to stay home today.
Yeah.
You know, when I hear other, oh, we did this weekend, this what you did, and I'm like, I just stayed home. And it's sort of like, it's not like, oh, I just stayed home because, nobody loves me. I'm so sad. I think I'm going to go eat some worms. It's like, no, I made the active choice to stay home, be in my sweet little apartment, play, listen to, favorite arias, and just do it whatever I want to do, whether it's to sew, whether it's to sing, whether it's to watch a movie, whatever my heart's content.
I love it.
And that's a really good tool to do more of, to just be more in touch. I think that would help me be more grounded more of the time, because when I'm not grounded, when Sherry, my teacher, will say, "Where'd you go? Where'd you go? You left self." She'll say, "You left self. Come back, little Sheba," she'll say. And I've just vacated, and all that's left is a shell. And I go, and that's the only way I can be angry. I can only be angry when I disassociate from self, because I can't be there. All of Mary can't be there to yell at somebody or get upset with a student in a way that makes that child feel like, oh no, what did I do? Miss Andrews doesn't love me anymore. If all of me is there, then that can't happen. It's when I leave. I get scared, I get fearful, and then, you know, that person snaps. That two-dimensional self that doesn't have rest of me to say, listen, we got all these tools in your toolbox. You could pull out this, you could pull out this, you could pull out that, you
Yeah.
know, and so it really is that idea of remaining, which that's how I spent most of my life. Let me vacate, and then the pain and the sorrow and the anguish will be less intense. And then I can come back a little bit later when things feel safe.
That makes so much sense to me.
Yeah.
So then here's just another tool, which is the hey, I've got you.
Yeah.
I'm the parent now. I've got you. And then we just notice if you can grab it just a little before the disassociation happens. Like, I wonder if the
Mm-hmm.
sensitivity can just get a little more sensitive. So the trigger's a little harder.
Yep. Yep.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, my love. Questions, comments, concerns. What do you think?
Um, I think that this is all, I love the reaffirming aspect of it. It's like, and that I don't want to shirk the powerful person that I am. I really want to be in my fullness. Another thing that Sherry will say, you know, you're gonna sing, girlfriend, you got to be in your fullness. You got to use all of you. And so this all fits together. Everything you said is another piece of the puzzle. It's like, oh, okay, all these little things that I thought about myself are showing up in my my interactions with my family, my interactions with my friends, my interactions with colleagues, with students, um, and it it's all, I'm able to sort of see who I am in a bigger picture and a more truthful picture, and that is a real gift. So
Wonderful.
this has been
Wonderful.
really fabulous.
That's great. And it's an absolute honor for me to get led into this part of you. So thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely, absolutely.
Great. Great.
Okay, all
Great.
right.
If you have further questions, let me know. We could always schedule another hour or whatever, but I am here at your disposal. And if you ever wanted to go deeper, I am here. And if you ever wanted to continue the conversation, I am here. And until I see you again,
Okay.
I just wish you all the best. And I'm excited to hear about your show.
You know, it was a long time. I'll leave you with this. It was a long time and only recently where I can actually visualize. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, you could do this, Mary. You're so talented. Oh, really? You think so? A long time where Mary can say, you know what? You can do this. And you will, some people may like it, some people may not, but there will people that will walk away and out of the theater feeling transformed, and that their lives were like, okay, look what that woman went through, and if she can do it, I can do it. And to make people feel positive about changing their lives, and to just, help heal myself on another level, and to help, if I'm a healer, this show is about hope and healing. So I can see that happening. I can see that happening. So very, very excited. It's slow, but I said before I'm 70, so I've got a few more years.
What a gift. What a gift. I'm excited.
Happy 2025.
2020. It's going to be a big year.
It's going to be a big year. All right, my love. Thank you so much. It
Mhm.
is my distinct pleasure having met you. And please come out to New York again and work with Elizabeth and charge more money this time.
Check. Done. Thank you. All right, Mary. I'll talk to you later. Okay.
Alrighty. Bye bye, Lynn.